Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. In today's video, we are going to be discussing Phillip Rivers. It was recently announced that he and the Chargers have agreed to part ways. Rivers is entering free agency, so we're going to discuss what could possibly lay in the future for him.
Yeah, there's a lot of places and a lot of things he could do in the offseason. But
That is true.
Right now, yes, it is true. It's exactly what we're going to talk about for the next couple of minutes. But given the fact that he's right now in Florida, and it seems like Miami's going to draft someone, and we don't know what the Buccaneers are going to do, so I feel like that's the first destination we have to talk about because that would be easiest for him and his family. And I think right now would be the most
His
likely.
big family.
Yeah.
Yeah, his huge family. And what I think right now would be the most likely landing spot for him.
I would agree with what you said there because I think with the fact that he moved to Florida. He moved to Florida. And really, like, before this report that he wouldn't be going back to Los Angeles came out, you kind of got the impression that once he moved across the country, you kind of had an idea that they were probably going to part ways. So I think Tampa obviously
just became official on Monday, though. Yeah,
location-wise, it's a really good fit. But also, like, more situationally, I mean, we've talked about Jameis Winston a lot on this channel, and I've expressed my opinion that at the very least, they need to at least put in some competition because with a guy as reckless as he is, the interceptions he throws, Rivers is an experienced guy. He's played on a lot of good teams. He's played on some bad teams. He's been through it all. Sure, he may not have a Super Bowl ring, but like I said, he's experienced. He's been in a lot of clutch situations, so I think it'd be good, even if he doesn't start, to at least generate some competition because if the Buccaneers don't do anything at the quarterback position and don't even at least put a little pressure on Jameis to improve, I don't think that it's going to be very good in 2020 for him.
You talked about interceptions. I just like to make a quick point out thing. This is really relative to free agency, just a point about Phillip Rivers. This year, he had a lot more interceptions than he usually would have. It seemed like he started to throw the ball just randomly up a lot more, not really being the veteran quarterback that he is. So personally, I don't know if he still has a lot of football left in him. I'm sure teams are very willing to go and try to take their shot with him.
So.
He's getting older. I know quarterbacks are playing to an older and older age now, but he didn't look the greatest with the Chargers in this past year. Of course, if he thinks he's still got football left, and he's going to go out and play. But who knows? He could say, all right, I want to test free agency. And if he doesn't like anything, he could just say, all right, I'm going to retire too. Who knows? Because he has a huge family. And he had not his best year with the Chargers in a year that they're supposed to be good. A lot of people... It seems like the past 2 years, a lot of people were saying that they're the Super Bowl picks.
They're always a dark horse team, I feel like, always.
They struggled last year with him, and obviously not there anymore.
Yeah, and really quick about his stats. He threw 20 interceptions, so that's only 2/3 of what Jameis threw, so it could be an upgrade.
20 receptions, still not good, though.
Better than Jameis, which doesn't say much, but okay, go on.
Yeah, it's an improvement. And Jordan, I'm glad that you brought up the retirement part of it because that could be the destination where he goes. We're talking about teams. Maybe he just goes and relaxes home with his thousands of kids. But, I mean, you mentioned the stats. Yeah, he has 20 picks, and I think he threw 20 picks in 2011, too, and 21 in 2016. But you're right, Jordan. There was a lot more careless this year. Not as good as the Phillip Rivers we're used to seeing, but still definitely teams that could use him. And also, I know that we talked about Florida in general. I just want to clarify. With the Dolphins and the Jaguars, it seems like Jaguars got their whole quarterback competition already going on with Nick Foles and Gardner Minshew.
Who knows? They could just try to say goodbye to both of them because at times in the
they invested way too much in Nick Foles to get after a year.
Unless they
actually no, they could trade.
He signed like a 4-year contract. I think they'd try.
People would want him. I'm just saying.
People would want him.
People would take the risk. I don't think I would want him personally.
Maybe the Eagles could take him because they're the only team that seem to be good with him.
Yeah. Carson Wentz is fine. I like Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I like Carson Wentz too, but that's not what we're talking about. So it's clear he's not going to the Chargers. He's probably not going back anywhere near the West Coast because that's too far away for his family. They just moved. So there's other teams, of course, mixed in here that he could go to. Another one that stands out to me is the Colts.
And I'll just start over here real quick with our guy, Daniel Jeremiah. We made a video on his mock draft. We kind of critiqued what he did, talked about all of his picks. So if you haven't taken a look at that one, go ahead and do that. But he had a quote about this matter that's going on right now. He said that Rivers to the Colts makes too much sense. Ready to win. Good O-line, which he was saying about the Colts. So he believes the Colts are ready to win. And, of course, they do have a really good offensive line led by Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, I think that is a valid point, but I also think that you kind of mentioned it earlier. Like Philip Rivers, like he can go help a locker room, he can maybe generate some quarterback competition, but is he really like able to take a team on his back and carry them to the Super Bowl? I don't know if a team like signs him with that expectation, they may be disappointed. But if they want a guy who's a veteran, who's going to be a good locker room presence, generate some competition in that quarterback room, maybe start a few games if the going gets rough, I think he could be a great guy. But if you're talking Super Bowl run, I think you might have to try and go somewhere else because Philip Rivers is 38. He could still be a valuable asset somewhere. Indy is a possible destination. And also, just remember though, the Colts were 6-2 at one point with Jacoby Brissett, and they did beat some good teams. So it wasn't all bad, and I don't know if it's fair for the Colts to give up on Jacoby Brissett. And I'm not saying that's what signing Rivers would be doing, but I still think that the Colts shouldn't completely lose hope on Jacoby Brissett because of how promising that offense was with him at the helm for that first half of the year.
I'm just going to be honest. I don't think that they're going to stay with Jacoby Brissett because you look at that team this year. They were very good last year. They were a Super Bowl contender this year. Just ask Tyler before all the Andrew Luck.
Hey, I said that before he retired, so it's not completely my fault. Who knows what happened?
So this team, they were really good. They had Eric Ebron, who went to the Pro Bowl. Marlon Mack had a great year, which he kind of went away this year. I don't know if he was injured or something or what, but
he was still there, just not as productive.
Yeah. So this team has really not changed from last year when they went to the playoffs and they were looking good. So, and also the thing to remember with the Colts is that they have a lot of money in free agency. So if they want to start winning now and sign some good guys, one of them being Philip Rivers, they can bring him in and say, all right, let's try to get you your Super Bowl win that you have yet to get yet, and there's thousands of memes of on all these meme pages for.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very true. I think another place we could talk about could be, barring some situations would have to happen with this team, but maybe the Panthers, they ship Cam Newton out of there, and they don't want to. Maybe they want to have someone for Will Greer or that's there to help him out, and it's the same situation in another place that I thought of, which I don't think is going to happen, but it definitely would be interesting. Would be the Cincinnati Bengals to have someone. I know they're going to draft Burrow,
They are, but
then you think maybe.
Let's be
I
honest.
don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to draft Burrow.
If they don't, we got a meme right there.
Yeah, true. I think they're going to draft Burrow. I'm going to keep mocking it that way. In my mock drafts, I haven't made one yet, but I will. And I think Philip Rivers would be a guy who knows he's at the end of his career.
He would.
And he could maybe go in there and say, all right, I like Joe Burrow and I want to help him. And he'll be the starter to start off, and then maybe Joe Burrow would take over for him.
No, I think right now Philip Rivers is trying to go somewhere to win a Super Bowl. He's not looking to be a second-string quarterback, in my opinion. If I'm personally him, after all this football, and he knows he's had some struggles with, he's getting hit a lot and stuff like that. Yeah. He knows he's getting old. If he's just going to a team to be a second-string quarterback, I think he's just going to retire by that point because he definitely has considered retiring a lot. You possibly could have saw his interview at the end of the season, and it looked like right there he was just ready to retire. Uh-huh. Obviously, it doesn't look like it just yet. It looks like he's going to test the market, as they say. But I don't think he's looking to go anywhere to be a second-string quarterback unless it's with a very, very good team, which if it's a very, very good team, they probably have a very good quarterback already, so they're not really looking for him.
That's a good point you make there, Jordan. I kind of want to back off what I said a little bit.
Yeah, thank you.
Because that is a good point that you made. Obviously, this wouldn't happen, but imagine if he went to the Giants.
Yeah, where it all started.
How funny would that be? It's not obviously. I don't think it's going to happen.
No, they're going to stay
with what Jordan just said.
Daniel Jones,
where he technically got drafted to.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was a Giant for a couple minutes, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a cool story to start off his career, and if he does decide to retire, congratulations to Philip Rivers for a great career, and we'll see what is to come.
Are we done with teams yet? Because I have two more that I can say a quick word about.
I got some dark horse ones, but I think really dark horse. I think you might
feel free. Go.
Okay. Well, one of them is I don't think this is going to happen, but I think that the Bears will be looking for some sort of quarterback. But as I said before, they're staying with Trubisky this year. They want him to be their guy. So I don't think Philip Rivers would want to go to the Bears unless he knows that he's going to start, which the Bears want to stick with Trubisky, which is fine with me. And he wants to go somewhere that could win, like we've been talking about. I'm not. I mean, I'm going to say it again. I guess if he's not going to retire, he's going to want to go somewhere to win. That's why he's still playing football, bottom of the line. He's not going to go to a trash team to just try to make another quarterback better. He's trying to win a championship. So if he believes he can win a championship with the Bears and they tell him that he could start, maybe he could go there. Another option is the Raiders. The Raiders, there was a report that they are openly trying to, or not openly, because I really don't know if
It's
this is confirmed or
They
not.
have their big secret plans down
But,
there in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know.
But they said stuff about not wanting to stick with Derek Carr and actually trying to pursue Tom Brady. So that would be interesting to see what that happened. That could be a completely different video about where Tom Brady could end up. It would probably be a similar structure to this one. So I don't know if that will ever be a thing. But the Raiders are also, and I don't know if you like to say dark horse team because they're dark, because they're the Raiders.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what you're saying. It's true. They call
I
them
don't
they
think he
call them
meant
the
it that
black hole.
literally, but
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but
I still got one more team that's like really far fetched.
yeah. Well, I'm ready to hear it.
All
Let's
right.
let's end this video with a bang.
Okay, so my
I
theory
actually might know what
is
you're gonna say.
no, I don't think you do. If you guessed it right, tell me. But I'm looking at the Saints, and if
That was actually one of the ones that I thought.
If
I saw
and
that
if-
one first, and then I thought of the Lions.
Yeah. Let's say Drew Brees retires, which
That'd be-
he's expressed a possibility. And I know the Saints are very high on Taysom Hill, but also Bridgewater could leave in free agency. Maybe they say, yeah, we're high on Taysom Hill, but is he ready to go from just a utility guy to carrying a championship caliber team on his back? Maybe that's a little bit too much of a leap from one year to another. So maybe, like you said, Jordan, a team that's ready to win now. They've got the tools there. It's Philip
Not,
Rivers.
not in the playoffs. Though.
Well, not in the
They're ready to
playoffs.
win.
They go 13-3 in the regular season and then lose a
Yeah.
heartbreaker in the divisional round or something. But it's a team that can win, and I think that'd be a good opportunity for Philip Rivers to get one last shot. Get him in there on a 1-year contract. Let Taysom Hill continue to keep that utility role, but maybe get him some more reps in preseason if you truly think he's that guy. But I think if Drew Brees retires, I think you at least have to look at the Saints as a possibility.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
that was a very good dark horse team. Now the thing for me is, do I believe in Taysom Hill as the starter for the Saints in the future, as the quarterback of the future? I don't know. I haven't really seen enough of
You haven't really
his
seen him
actual
throw,
throwing
honestly.
abilities yet. But the Saints seem to like him. That's kind of
They do.
off the topic. But that was a dark horse, and that is very possible. And I'm sure Philip Rivers would love to do that. He's got some good weapons around him. He had some good weapons around him with the Chargers, but he's gonna. If he's going to, but this is not confirmed or anything. As we said, it was a dark horse. He'd have Michael Thomas around him. He'd have Alvin Kamara. He'd have a decent offensive line. He'd have some good, a pretty decent defense. The Chargers were on and off for defense. They were good the previous year. This year they were kind of middle of the pack, I guess. So yeah, I mean that's definitely an option. I like that you brought that one up. That's an interesting situation to talk about with Drew Brees in general. I'm just foreshadowing some videos that could possibly come.
Hint.
Yeah, I think Sean Payton likes Taysom Hill too much to bring in Philip Rivers, but I just want to mention the same kind of situation with the Patriots.
Yeah,
It's a possibility. We've seen them win
Patriots
Super
and
Bowls.
Chargers do a swap.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, who knows what could happen, but that's just another thing I thought I'd throw out on the table.
I don't see the swap idea.
On the table.
I don't
So
see
yeah,
why
whatever
they would
happens
want
We're
to
getting
swap.
really far fetched here now. The end
Yeah.
of the video.
Whatever happens with Philip Rivers,
Maybe they stopped watching. I don't know.
we wish you the best.
Hopefully not. Hopefully you're
so-
still here.
Yeah, I hope you're still here.
Oh.
But we wish Philip Rivers the best, and we wish you guys the best watching this video.
Oh yeah.
Well, you already finished it, but we wish you had a good time, and for the rest of this about minute left, we do wish you the best. So.
Yeah, we do, and we also wish that you would like this video.
Oh, we do.
Subscribe to
Yeah,
our channel.
that's true. That's
Hit the
very
notification bell
Ding.
and comment where you think
Do all
Philip
those things
Rivers
you
is
just
going
said.
because
Yeah.
we want to know what you guys think.
Do all those things.
But I think the bottom line with
Should we
Philip
say something
Rivers
about-
is he's going to go somewhere where there's already a talented team.
Should we say something about the number video that this is? Is this confirmed that it is?
I'm not entirely sure if this is our 100th video,
I think it is.
which I think, according to Ryan, it is. Thank you guys for all the support.
Yeah.
And make sure to do all
It's
the
been fun.
things I said a long time ago with the commenting and subscribing and all that. And with that, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.